Sly! Emergency! This is terrible!
Not surprisingly, Sly Cooper is the most agile character in PlayStation All-Stars. But his speed comes at a cost. He's not all that strong. This means that players who decide to use Sly will have to work hard to build up meter effectively, which is where his ability to combo and strike quickly will come in handy. Sly is also equipped with worthwhile supers that give you a lot of options when hunting for kills.
Glad to drop in.
Sly Cooper carries around with him a cane, and attacks with the cane are mapped to square. Mash square on its own to have him swing wildly. Press towards an enemy and he'll tuck and roll towards his foe while spinning his cane. Down and square will let Sly trip his enemy with his cane, while up and square will launch enemies into the air. It's at this point that you'll want to jump up with your airborne foe and begin juggling. The triangle button, when used alone, lets Sly launch a clock which will electrocute any enemy that touches it. Down and triangle will let Sly throw a smoke bomb at an enemy for minor damage, and forward and triangle will have Sly roll into his enemy, electrocuting him while extracting some AP. His most interesting move on this button, however, is up and triangle. This lets him disappear and reappear with haste, great for getting out of harm's way. Just be sure to press right or left on the analog stick after executing the move so he goes in the direction you want him to. And speaking of disappearing, Sly can disappear from the screen by blocking. He's the only character that can do this. Sly's bag of tricks are mapped to the circle button. Pressing towards an enemy will let Sly electrify the ground behind him. This move can also be used in the air to great effect. Pressing down in circle lets Sly plant a mine on the ground, which can harm enemies long after the fact if they unsuspectingly collide with it. And up in circle puts Sly into a barrel of explosives. Wait for enemies to come near and tap circle again to detonate it, doing massive damage. Sly Cooper comes packing a promising array of special attacks. His level 1 attack calls forth his friend Murray to run into enemies, and can easily kill 3 foes clumped together. His level 2 attack, Flying Raccoon, is equally devastating, allowing Sly to chase around foes from the air, dropping bombs on them from above. And level 3 can be used from afar, scoping out enemies and killing them. Watching your targets run around to avoid you is always a pleasure.